last time out, things unfortunately did not go to plan. So Buddy crosses the line to finish in P17, really not his race today. So obviously very disappointing. Buddy wasn't going to let that knock hit him, but Buddy was still concerned about the situation with his dad, who is still furious about what happened at Indy. But he's got to put that to the back of his mind now, as it is time for him to head off to the Austrian Grand Prix. So, from the streets of Baku to the Red Bull Ring, Buddy has arrived back to Central Europe, ready to take part. Now, his engine situation is looking a little bit critical. It is looking like he is unfortunately going to have to take a penalty. Obviously, the Renault power unit is not the most reliable power unit in Formula 1. But the plan is for Buddy to take the penalties wisely on a track where you can overtake on. So, without further ado, it's time for the qualifying report. As the midway point of the season approached, the focus was now on qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix, which was about to get underway. Sauber once again locked out the back row. McLaren once again struggled with their underpowered Honda engine. Danny Kvyat once again outqualified his teammate Carlos Sainz, whilst Haas once again injured an average session. Lance Stroll struggled, whilst Buddy Simpson felt he could have done better than 9th. Both Force Indias cracked the top 10, whilst Red Bull locked out the 3rd row. Sebastian Vettel just missed out on pole, whilst it was Lewis Hamilton who took the coveted pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix. So, looking at the starting grid for the Austrian Grand Prix, and it was Lewis Hamilton who took pole by less than a tenth ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Valtteri Bottas lined up in 3rd ahead of Raikkonen and the 2 Red Bulls in 5th and 6th. The 2 Force Indias locked out the 4th row ahead of Simpson and Massa. Kevin Magnussen qualified 11th ahead of Kvyat. Hulkenberg was disappointed with 13th ahead of Sainz, Grosjean and Stroll, whilst McLaren lock out the 9th row, whilst it was the 2 Saubers who rounded out the grid. Marcus Ericsson with a grid penalty.
Anthony Davidson joins me to talk you through the action here today at what is quite an unusual racetrack, wouldn't you say, Ant?
Yeah, it's quite an odd layout around here. The thing about Austria is that it's a harder circuit to master than what really meets the eye. On top of that, it's a low grip surface, and that means that your small mistakes end up being punished, and it's very easy to slide wide into the runoff area and lose a huge chunk of time. Luckily, because it's such a short circuit though, you have plenty of opportunities to perfect the lap.
So here Buddy is sitting on the grid at the Red Bull Ring. He's had a good season so far, so he obviously wants to continue that today in this race. So, as you can see, he's just getting ready, and now the formation lap is about to get underway. As you can see, everyone pulls away. We are behind the 2 Force Indias on the grid in P9. Qualifying we felt could have gone a bit better, but an error of judgment left Buddy down in P9 when he felt he could have gone a bit higher than P9. As you can see, heading towards the final 2 corners, Buddy is about to line up on the grid. And he's about to hit his grid box. Ready to go. So, he's on the grid, raring to go here in Austria. Just waiting for the final few cars to line up on the grid. And we have the lights at the Red Bull Ring. Lights out, away we go. Buddy gets a reasonable launch off the line. He's got quite a reasonable gap to get into, but as you can see, Kevin Magnussen getting a great stop. We're on the outside, and we unfortunately get squeezed out. And Buddy was not happy about that. Jesus Christ, he has to leave the space. So heading up to the Remus, as you can see, he has to slam on the brakes there, but after losing position, that's our teammate, Nico Hulkenberg, going up the inside, going side by side, down the straight, heading up towards Schlosskold corner. We initially get ahead, but there's a little bit of contact, and we get squeezed out. Honestly, these drivers, is playing bumper cars all they want to do? So moving on to lap 3, and Buddy was struggling to make any inroads on the cars ahead. As you can see, DRS enabled, but he's taken too much of the sausage curb and lost a bit of traction, and that is going to allow both Sainz and Grosjean through. As you can see, looking at the replay, shame the camera angle didn't do it justice, but he just clipped the curb too heavily, and as you can see, he has lost 2 positions. He's now braking into the Remus, but he's caught Grosjean vulnerable, and he's managed to take back P14. Or has he? Because they're both side by side, and they're wheel banging on a straight. But Buddy has the inside line heading into Schlosskold, and he has made that move stick. But Buddy still had a bit of questioning to do. Honestly, you can't do that. He's just wheel banging on the straight. What the heck? But as you can see, Danny Kvyat is stopping, and somehow this was enough for a safety car. And Buddy did gain a position, and also a few cars did pit. So he's up to P12 now, so this could help him a little bit. As you can see, he's wheeling, but he's hit the grass, and he's spun into the wall. What a terrible mistake that he made. And he was so disgruntled about it. Oh, for God's sake, me. How did I manage to do that? That was so amateur. That, honestly, one of the most stupidest mistakes in the world. Honestly, what was I doing? So Buddy is coming into the pit, slowing down so he can do the tyre request for the super soft tyre, so he doesn't have to actually make an extra stop. So he enters the pit lane, obviously changing the nose because he damaged his wing in that incident. But he's actually got to hurry in case the safety car comes in, and he will be left behind, and that would really wreck his race if he did get left behind. I mean, yes, he's kind of now got a pit stop out the way, but now it's his job to play catch up. And as you can see, the safety car is coming in, and that is really bad. So he's going to really rush. I mean, he's in the lead mix to save fuel, and as you can see, it seems that they're all now racing again. So Buddy has effectively lost half a lap through that mistake. So he's going to have to really put in some good laps if he's going to have the chance of some points. But he did put in some good laps and actually catch up with the cars ahead. And as the drivers ahead started to pit, he was now in P15 with a few more drivers yet to stop as well. But it was going to be interesting to see where he was going to get back up. I mean, realistically, he needed a safety car to get anything good from this race. He would eventually move up to P13 and is starting to catch up to Carlos Sainz. As you can see, he gets a slight swap on and goes into the grass. And obviously he's going to have a slow exit, and that's going to put Lance Stroll, who has pitted, on his tail. What is going on with me? Honestly, why am I so today?
Don't be hard on yourself, mate. Still a long way to go.
Buddy was now in the clutches of Lance Stroll, who on the ultra soft tyres and with the Mercedes engine was going to be a hard car to defend from. As you can see, he's having a look down the inside, going into the penultimate corner, and he's on the inside, so we have to leave the space, but he is able to get the drive, and with DRS, and he has taken the position. So on lap 46, he would come in for his final pit stop. So as you can see, he's now coming into the pits, putting on the pit limiter, and he's going to be switching to a new set of the super soft tyre. So he's into the pits. He wanted to switch to the ultra soft, but unfortunately he didn't have another set of ultra softs. He wanted to go a bit longer so he could go to the ultra soft, but he didn't have a set of tyres. So as you can see, he has actually been jumped by both of the Saubers, which is not what he needs. And he's got blue flags to respond to. As you can see, he's right behind Ericsson. He's going to send one up the inside, going into the Remus, and he has made that move stick. A lap later, he'd be behind Pascal Wehrlein in the Sauber. As you can see, he makes a slight mistake, which we are able to capitalise on. Alonso was our next target, and this wasn't going to be a hard move because of the underpowered Honda. As you can see, Kimi Raikkonen is trying to get in on the action, even though he's a lap down. As you can see, we lock up slightly, but we have made that move stick. So we are up into P14, and actually not that far behind Lance Stroll. The three cars ahead were having quite a battle, and Buddy was catching them at a rate, but unfortunately, due to having to respond to the blue flags, that stalled his progress. So at this point, it was unlikely he was going to make up any positions, and he was still feeling very down about his race.
I just want to say, guys, I am really sorry. I have done a job today. Honestly, this has been the worst race of my career. I've just done so badly.
Don't stress, mate. Everyone has bad days from time to time.
So as you can see, Buddy is about to round the final sector to finish in a very disappointing P14, 2 laps down. Obviously, as you can see, Vettel wins the race, but Buddy crosses the line. It just was not his day today, was it? So Buddy finishes in P14. It just really, as I said, it just really was not his day. So looking at the race result, as you can see, it's Vettel that won the race. Hulkenberg did actually get some good points for the team, but it was just unfortunate that Buddy couldn't back that up today due to his mistakes, and Renault have actually dropped behind Force India in the constructors' standings as well, which is something further to add salt to the wound when it comes to his bad race. As you can see, Vettel celebrating his victory. The Ferrari team very happy. Unfortunate that the same could not be said for Buddy, and he was very far from the podium today, obviously. In fact, straight after the race, he did leave. He just didn't want to remain at the track. He was just so down about it. Unfortunately, 10 days after the race, things did not get much better for him. For the past year, he has been living at the house of his girlfriend, whose dad owns a lot of classic cars. But this happened. What the? What is that? Who's dropped glass?
Right, no F1 allowed for you!
What are you doing here? What the heck? That was my girlfriend's TV! What are you doing? What is wrong with you?
Don't care! You were in F1 and you are still in big trouble for what you did at Indy!
You're not telling me you shattered the door, did you?
Yes, I did!
What? You can't do shit like this!
Oh really? You watch me! Move out the way!
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna...
Hey, stop there! What the heck did you just do?
He's my son and he's defying me, dickhead!
More like he is trying to follow his dreams, something that you're stopping him from doing, and you are paying for that window you just smashed.
No, I'm not!
Get out of my house.
No!
Don't make me have to manhandle you out.
How dare you! You're a dick and you always have
You
been!
get out or I'm calling the police.
Yeah, don't do that.
Why can't I just race? Do what I want to do without all this bullshit.